Hello everyone, it's Simon from High Plane Games with a review of Shipped. This is a game that came out earlier last week on PC, and it is for 2 to 8 players to play locally, although you can fill up for AI bots if you need to. There is a single player campaign, but this is primarily a local multiplayer experience. It's from the same people that done Major Tory, which is that quiz game where when you get the questions wrong it ruins the person's life, which I like quite doing. But you can see the graphical art style that they done there carries across into Shipped, and I think it works really, really well. Shipped is a very simple game at its level, or its base level rather. You've got 5 different game modes to play, and they all revolve around basically going into naval warfare with your ships. It could be a race where the screen is kind of panning forward, a bit like Micro Machines, and it's basically last one standing wins, and you'll need to either push people off the course or outmaneuver them with your ship as you steer it round, or you can pick up some of the crates that are many of them scattered across each level and shoot out cannonballs from the side. The tactics with that is that you can have someone alongside you and just shoot and kill them. You can, if you're up front and leading, kind of grab the crate, spin to the side and then shoot out. Or if you've sped up and then you've realised that you're in a dead end and you find a crate, you can actually shoot and explode some of the islands so that it can clear your path as you go along. And I really liked that ability to use the cannonballs in a variety of different ways. Outside of the racing, you've also got a versus chase as well, which is where someone will have a star around them and you basically need to bash them to win the star back and then try and make sure that no one else survives. There's also Shipped's version of Battle Royale, dare I speak, where basically the camera continues to just pan in until there's only room for one ship left, and everyone else is gaming over. There's also levels where different stars are there, and it's like a checkpoint race where you've got to hit each of the stars, and the first one to do that wins, or if you don't all do it, whoever's left standing wins. And you can basically change how many points you need to get until you get to win the actual match itself. So the default is winning 5 games, but you can bump it up to 10 or something like that if you want to. Outside of that, the single player experience is choosing one of the 8 characters. They all play the same, it's just the ship designs that are different. And you have to win 8 consecutive games in a row, and they're kind of mix and match, so they'll change each time. And that's quite difficult because the AI are very competent. And I really appreciate that. There's so many good local multiplayer games that then don't add any kind of AI bots in because it's difficult to make. I really appreciate and thank you so much for taking the time to actually make AI bots, because otherwise I wouldn't have bought this game on release week. And I'm so glad that I did, because actually it's good fun. The game itself, in terms of the control system, I think might frustrate a few people. The only reason why is because the ship itself handles almost like a drifting car, I guess, because there's always wind going across and you're trying to point in the way of the sail. But it means that when you're pushing to go forward, it's almost like you're grinding from side to side or drifting from side to side with a really, really lazy car. And sometimes the levels don't really allow you to have that kind of level of, I'll just speed round on my jet ski, because you're needing to be quite precise. But that in turn really lends itself well for when you're smashing into each other and trying to push people off, because then they'll will outride and then they'll try and either hold on for dear life and hope they don't smash into an island. You might spear off the side of the screen and explode, or it might be that actually you end up trying to hold on for dear life and just skim around the edge, and that keeps your ship in survival intact. So there's a lot of good fun to be had from it, but I can see some people being like, bah! And at the end of the day, Shipped is definitely a friendship wrecker, which is what all good multiplayer games usually are. So, if I do have any downsides to Shipped, it's because, it's only about £4. The game itself is actually quite short in terms of different game modes and so on and so forth. What it is here and what is done really, really well. But if you're wanting lots of different game modes, characters that handle different, or any power-ups or anything like that, there's none of that. This is pure gameplay mechanics, just stripped down to its bare minimum. Works perfectly well, but there's no bells and whistles, so don't expect any. Also, thumbs up for the soundtrack as well. I quite like the sea shantiness, which reminded me a little bit of Guybrush Threepwood. So, Shipped, out now. If you want to wreck your friendships, go for it. I believe this works with Parsec as well, so if you don't have people locally in your room, you can go nuts online with them through that. So, thanks for watching. You guys take care. Bye!
This channel is just one of my many projects that cover games, music and film. If you enjoy any of these and would consider supporting me to develop further in the future, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/Satorimon. Thank you for your time and for watching the video.